Speaking of product, though, how about we start diving into Wave 3 then? Because this is going to take a minute and a half. Let me start sharing a screen so we can actually kind of see here what we need to see. And I honestly don't know where to start on this, but here, let's just bring this up. Voila. Here is the window. So, okay, I'm on like Storyarc Rising Tide, but do we want to do the promo miniatures first? Or I mean, Joe's not on here yet, so I know he's in love with the Major.
He likes the full brush, yeah. So.
Yeah, so we might want to wait. I don't even know where Joe is, but we'll give him some time. We'll do those last. I guess I'll start by just saying, in general, there are so much bugs that I don't even know what to do with myself. So if we want to start there, let's talk about bugs.
So now we're in trouble because this is what I'm seeing. We have a podcast audience or a podcast group of 2 individuals now possessed by hives. That's concerning. I think we should talk about our affiliations.
I don't know if I'm mind
shackled.
This
podcast specifically.
I don't know if I'm mind shackled or
I know
if I'm
Maladris
just
can't mind shackle, but you seem to be really loyal to her regardless.
You just have a bug waiting to burst in your chest.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, there you go. You're one of the festering honor guard. That's it. You're.
I'll get the T-shirt. I'll get the T-shirt. Proudly display.
We could make some memes about the festering honor guard. It's like, this is my suit or something like that. It's like, I'm not actually here. I'm actually a bug. Some joke like that about them. It's like, just wait till I roll a 19.
Exactly. And we got Ben Harris in the chat saying, I only signed in to see Joe and he's not there. Yeah, I think he's on his way. I think he's on his way, Ben. But okay, so when it comes to the bugs then, what stands out the I'll just put it here. I think the Legionnaires and the Phalanx, they seem like they're going to be like really good competitively. I mean with their cards and such.
Because you have to, Revna is establishing herself as a general now, right? And we've already had a few options with Myserix, and then we have Kilkarax, right? Mm-hmm. So this is a really interesting dynamic in which they're deciding to explore the other side of Revna's options, which is the bugs. Mm-hmm. And yeah, just like what Tails was saying, this is going to be really good for competitive. Being able to switch between Phalanx and big ball and little ball and all those options. I mean, I feel like that dynamic is going to mess around with a lot of strategies. People be like, oh, let me just go hit the ball and then explodes. And you're like, crap. You're like, oh. If you're surrounded by bugs all of a sudden because you decided to hit the Phalanx itself, something like that, you would have to decide, are you willing to hit the big ball and potentially, encourage your opponent to split it apart and surround you? Mm-hmm. Or, can you hit the big ball fast enough? It's going to create different dynamics you're going to have to be aware of with the bugs coming in. So
right.
I think that's pretty cool.
And you have to think of the Phalanx and I get all the bugs mixed up. The soldier ones as one card effectively. It's kind of the first we've seen powers like this. And right. I mean, as effectively a 7 life figure, this thing can do some damage and then some.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, I was trying to load the card, and I something's going on with RenegadeGameStudios.com, actually, I think, because it's just loading, it's not processing. And go ahead, Josh. You were about to say something.
Yeah, I'm the main thing that I wish from looking at it is that it's not just to remove or heal 1 wound. It's like a whole splash of damage, which makes this card really good. You can just take 3 wounds at once and go, oh, I'm just going to take one of these 1 life guys off the card. Like it's really
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And here, let me hold on. Okay, I want to know what's going on with this thing. Okay, I'm bring this back here. Okay,
just to understand how these guys work, they're 2 separate cards, but the individual guys can either start on the ball card as extra health, or they can join into those guys later on in the game, right? Do I have that basic mechanic down?
Yes and no. I think you can
not-
start them either way. From what I remember reading the
Yeah, you
cards.
can start either way.
Yeah.
So you can either start. Is it... Yeah, 'cause you can
I don't
place any
think
of
they
the
joined that
little guys on the giant ball at the start of the game,
Right.
or instead of attacking, if they're adjacent to it, they can jump into it.
Yep.
So you have a couple different options. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think because I know with the NGC, you can attack the ball and then those guys just come out and start attacking their opponents. I don't think it works for these. I think if you cause injury to the ball, then you have to remove one of them from the card. They don't necessarily come out into the battlefield. You can have them come out on their own, but if the
so
ball
it does
gets
say
struck,
you may remove.
right?
You may remove. So
you
don't-
may.
you
So
don't
it could
have to
take hits
kill-
because this ball
Yeah, you don't have to
has
kill
3
Legionnaire.
life. It's got 3 life, and that's kind of nice. That's kind of nice. Now I'm trying. Okay, I think the loading issue is done. Let me try this again. Okay, there it goes. All right, now we can kind of sort of see that. Internet working. Okay, and that's as wide as it's going to go, so that's all right. And then there we got Joe. Okay, and let me catch up on some of these comments because I know we have some comments here. Let's see here. Justin says the bugs were what I was least interested in from the HasLab, but the FOMO set in, and I didn't want to miss out on the premium painted edition. Yeah, just look at those guys. My goodness.
It's just it's
With what I said, I'm much more excited about Clean Maladrex than the Festering Honor Guard. Yeah, because these, synergies with Classicscape with these are just amazing. And then, hi, Joe. Hey, we got Joe Crazy there. Okay, Ben.
Oh, it's good.
Okay, Ben. Joe's
the
here.
other Hive Lord.
Your reason.
the
to...
other Hive possessed individual in chat.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm just.
Apparently, Joe.
I'm
Now
worried for the
I'm
safety.
instead of mind shackled, I'm loyal to
I heard.
loyal to my queen. Yep.
Yeah,
I was
Tails,
listening to you guys talk about that.
Tails is actually a Festering Honor Guard, and you are mind shackled. So
Yeah.
I'm determining all your
allegedly.
Allegedly.
I'm joined in.
I'm surrounded by enemies. I'm scared.
And but the best and Ben went few. Okay. Jack is asking too, Jeremy, how much influence do you have with the lore going forward? Is it your baby now, or do you consult with the team about it? And I think you answered in chat, but go ahead for
answer anyone who hasn't see that. Yeah. So the way it works, I am a contractor, so I'm consulting with a group of the Heroscape developers or the designers. So that's Alex, Dylan, and Rowan. Lee, who's a producer, and then it's me and William, or Dandelions. You know them as Dandelions in Discord. And so the 6 of us consult every other week, and then we're basically just narrative. We're literally constructing narrative. We talk about it, and then we disperse, do our stuff, come back, and that's what we've been doing for the past couple of weeks. So I'm really excited to eventually get to the point where then I can show you what I've been working on. Can't do that yet, but Heroscape is going so cool. I just stick with it. That's all I'm asking you. Stick with it.
Oh, I was about to drop out, but now you know what? I'm sticking.
Yeah, let's go, Rogue Scaper. That's all we need.
I would just be Rogue, no more Scaper.
Brand changed already. You gonna change your name like Mountain Dew's changing their name right now?
Speaking of Mountain Dew, look at this Baja Blast.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was. That's what I was actually thinking. The color scheme of this is very bright, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I know that they were originally orangish.
Yeah, bright mean in nature.
Yeah.
What does bright colors mean in nature? Danger. Yep. Always anything bright.
Dangerous.
Yep. And if you see that and you're like, oh, that's not no, bro, she's poisonous. That's definitely poison. I don't know what else to tell you. Something bad is part of that, carapace.
In the words of Queen, she's a killer queen.
She's a killer queen.
I love the fact that she can bond with Crypt Guardians. I've played Crypt Guardians last ScapeCon. I have a bunch, and I cannot wait to have her with Crypt Guardians and the Festering Honor Guard and just go to town with people. Seattle Seahawks bug, says Chad. It's you have a silver sheen and there you go. You just that'll
that's amazing.
mascot. mascot. It's not a Seahawk, but it can eat a Seahawk.
Yeah.
I could eat a Seahawk. Yeah.
You could.
What I like about these new units is that the heroes feel very powerful. Like there's a
Yes.
reason to draft this in your army instead of 4 times of a common squad. Like it can do something very unique and very potent.
Yeah, there's anything that else stands out for the bugs with you guys. Anything that we need to visit for these? Because we have a few.
Because we already had the powers for Maledrix and her guard, because that was one of the previews. So it was just nice to finally get the stats on the Phalanx and Legionnaires, kind of see how that worked out. Their version of it. Now, if you're really curious, there are 2 versions of the Lothman Legionnaires out there. There's a custom version, and then there's this version. You can try them both and have fun with giant bugs and all glory, because heavens, it's there now.
I'm just
have
in my
fun.
glory.
The versatility of the Phalanx that we got from Renegade, or for Avalon Hill and Renegade, is like so good. I've been reading this. I've been intently reading this card because I haven't got a chance to really read these cards at all. And holy mother, is so cool.
The all of one is scary. Can you imagine, like, I'm gonna fight one bug and then they form up and you're like, ah, crap, I screwed up. Dead.
And the fact that you can do that on either of their turns is like, take them on and off, because the NGC version is like the Phalanx does not start on the battlefield at all.
Right.
Yeah.
And all the Legionnaires have to form, and you have to try to choose on when to form the Phalanx. But because the Phalanx isn't its own thing and it starts on the battlefield now, and you can kind of like put one on, put one off, and come back and forth.
Pick them off, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of more versatility with it, and being able to attack with essentially the Phalanx to attack 3 times. Because I don't know, if you take all of them off, is it considered dead? Do you always have to have one off?
No, I mean,
Legionnaires?
you just want you won't be able to
it's
sacrifice one anymore, and then it just got its life because it's got 3 hearts on it. So it just dies after it gets hit enough, basically.
No, but I'm just saying the Legionnaires. If you put all the Legionnaires on the Phalanx, is the Legionnaires card just like X'd out? Like,
I think you still have it on your board.
Yeah, because you still have the option to take them out of the ball.
Take them off.
Oh, okay.
So if you're like moving the ball, and they're like,
technically
you know what? Let me send some.
Attack 4 times with 3.
The possibilities are endless for these things, and I love their attack and defense too. I mean, it's it's strong enough.
Solid.
Yeah, it's solid.
You could throw these guys in just as a filler if you had 50 points left over, and that's not a bad.
Still really good.
50 disengage for 4 attacks at 3. I mean, you can't go wrong.
No, because you think about this, right? Like, I mean, glyph grabbing, right? You can break off you send your ball out and then break them off to grab the glyphs. They're disengaging, so if anyone's coming to get you to get those glyphs, pull them out before they come out because they got to disengage. Jump back into the ball and then go to town, get your glyph back. I mean, there's all kinds of things you could do. You literally have options to scatter, bring back, and like, it's like a net. You're like fishing. It's really interesting aesthetic that I don't know if there's any other mechanics in the game that acts like that.
It's the first time we dipped into like a 2-card format.
A 2-card format.
That's you had like cool. The Regits, which were kind of close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like.
Although you had to summon.
Card,
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you can play like the smaller card by itself, or you could feel it was useful, because the NGC version, I believe the Phalanx, you have to have the Phalanx to have the smaller ones, and so you have to have 2 cards, but for only you have to take them together. So I like how they feel like separate entities, but they interact like very well.
Yes, absolutely. And Jack in the chat says the next point. There's another thing I like about the bugs. It gives me alien vibes, and I love me some alien vibes. It says, I'm very excited for Maledrix and her honor guard. Her abilities are so thematic. I can imagine her just grabbing an enemy, face-hugging opponents with her brood. Absolutely brutal stuff, because Festering Honor Guard, what does it have? It has Parasite, and this is like a thematic from Alien. This is all thematic this is something that we get from NIDS, too, from Valhalla Customs. So it's like Parasite right there on the card. It's their own version. I just love it. I love it.
You roll a 9 or higher? Wait. Oh, wow. She literally can just drop bugs on anybody.
Yeah.
It's a 17 or higher for them to come out, but it's not hard for them to...
yeah, but that's not hard. Yeah, it's not hard to get attached. Okay. Oh, that's terrifying though, because that could just be like. I mean, you all saw that preview. Patrick lost out of burn literally first turn. That was insane. Like,
That's a really good vid. I love that
8
one.
life out of burn got murdered by a bug.
And also, it's
so
a revive mechanic. Anytime you can bring a character back in Escape, considering how hard or how much effort it is used to kill a unit, is really effective. So you get a kill unit and bring one back in the same turn is just potent. And also, I mean, you have some minor enhancements. You know, with the Warden, you can bump up their speed if you want to. There's a lot, and they're unique, so you can buff them up even more. So there's a lot of stuff you can build around these guys.
Yeah, I'd have to think.
That feels like a swarm.
And you're making that parasite check at the end of every round, so if you have 3 or 4 of those on like enemy unique heroes, there's gonna be a lot of heroes blowing up at the end of a round.
It's terrible. That's horrifying.
It's so cool.
25% chance. I'm doing that 20% chance.
It's like everybody, just nobody fight Maladrix, or at least if you're gonna hit her, make sure you kill her in one go and be done with it. Don't play around with the queen.
Life at 6, defense 5 is nothing to scoff at.
That's what I'm saying. You're gonna have to make a good one shot and run. Please don't poison me.
Deadeye Dan, get him in.
Yo, yeah, Deadeye Dan is Maladrix's doom. Let's go.
Yeah.
Please die.
He's like sitting in a bush, and then like Halucia comes up and taps him on the back. He's like, "Excuse me, sir." Boom.
Yo.
Excuse me, sir. This is my tree.
Yeah, this is my tree.
Yeah, all that to say too, it's a 5-person squad too, the honor guard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very
First 5-person.
I think it's a great trend. Let's go. Let's keep it going. How about 6 or 7?
It was supposed to happen with the Tarn Vikings, but they decided against it.
That's right.
Tarn Viking into Eldgrim, the Viking warrior. So the Festival Honor Guard does take the role as the first 5-person squad, but it wasn't the first 5-person squad.
They'd be thought of, yeah.
Yeah, it has been thought of since day 1 of Escape. So, I mean, the option's always been there. We can do 5-man squads.
Would be pretty good.
No
Okay,
commit. I'm not
okay, people.
lead, by the way. That wasn't a commit.
We have to interrupt this program for a special announcement by saying who
didn't even get that far.
Pokemon. Okay, no, who's that guest? Who's that guest?
Who's that guest?
Right.
Who's
Now you
that
gotta
guest?
see the Smash Brothers music.
We have special guest with us tonight. Just arriving, Lee from Renegade. Woohoo!
Wow.
Here,
Jeremy, long
also my
time no
boss.
see.
Right?
Welcome.
So
No.
I'm not doing anything bad, I promise.
Glad you
Dare
can.
you? No.
Glad we could join
Get to
us.
see my
tonight.
custom creation stuff.
So much. Why don't before we dive into more of Wave 3, how about for the audience, for those who are living under a rock and don't know, please introduce yourself and who are you about and what do you do?
For sure. Well, I'm Lee Houff, and I'm associate producer for Heroscape with Renegade Games. And yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
Yeah.
She is like the go-between of like the community and Renegade a lot. I know because she communicates via Discord and Facebook often with a lot of us, and so
Occasionally Reddit. I'm very slow to check Reddit. Like,
who wants to check Reddit though? You know,
I try.
I
It's like, I don't know what Reddit's good
deep
for.
stuff.
But it's good
I
for
find
something.
some really deep articles on Reddit, but that's about it. It's like, oh hey, maybe I want to learn this obscure language, and then you can find an entire list of that obscure language on Reddit only, apparently. But yeah, that's all.
Yeah, it's good for archiving things.
Yeah.
And apparently Ben has a new love, Joe. Sorry, Lee's even better than Joe. Sorry, Joe.
Oh, Ben, he's so kind.
But glad you can join us tonight, Lee. And so now, how about we get on? And we have some questions for you, Lee, too, in a little bit. But let's just continue with our overview of. We're just wrapping up on the bugs because, well, we have to start with the bugs because they're awesome. But one thing, like we had one last bug, and that's like I didn't expect. I mean, out of anything that I was expecting, I wasn't expecting to see this one. out of anything. That's the Thraxus, a dragoon. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
This is a Hive Lord.
And then wait, hold on, it's still going.
Hive Lord.
Oh wait,
I'm
there's
so
more.
happy this card is here though. I can't wait to use this one.
Oh my gosh.
Doing the grub bonding too.
Oh, yeah.
Even more bonds on
Thraxus.
top. I'm so excited.
Menace.
Yes. I mean, it's 195 points. That's pricey, but I'm sure it's. I mean, 5 attack, 5 defense. My goodness, and 6 life. I think can just move across the battlefield. Yeah, it's like,
It will fit
terrifying.
just fine in any Nagrub army. I love it.
No, I should have ran to my office and grabbed 3D prints. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
All right.
It's okay.
It's okay. Yeah.
We're not weeping or anything like that. Hello, Derek. Hobbies, interest in
I
life
am
moments. How you doing tonight?
I'm a strong individual. I can make this.
Yeah, we'll be fine. Of course, not knowing that would have been better, but no,
I know.
Now we know we're missing something, and it hurts a little bit more.
I know. This is what happens when I don't move my laptop back into my office, and it's still in the Renegade Con area, which is the only area with reliable lighting in my house. And it's also one of the more comfortable areas to sit in front of a screen besides the living room for hours.
Oh, Lee, guess where I'm at? I'm in the middle of what should be a living room in my house, but it's not a living room. It's office / cat litter box on the side, basically. So, yeah, totally get it. All right. Well, how about, because I know Justin was mentioning this in the chat. Let's take a look at. So we're overviewing this. Wait a minute. What need to get to? Okay. What was I looking at here? Yeah, how about we look at some furry woodland creatures, because I love these a lot. And there's Vorglide Strikers. Okay.
Well,
what do we
don't forget they're
Oh my
industrial, so
goodness.
I don't know if they know much about trees.
Goofy
To be
goobers.
fair, to be fair, they may have cut down all the trees.
What are you saying? I'm sorry.
Gotta say, this
I'm only half paying attention.
Oh
here.
no, I was saying, like you said woodland. You said furry woodland creatures. And
Furry-
I don't know if they know much about trees because they're industrial. And,
It's an expression,
Steampunk.
you know. I'm
I
not
know
saying
that's the. I was building off of what you're saying. It was funny.
this is
the
what
forward
happens when I'm only
steampunk.
paying half attention to my stream and half
They're like,
paying
we
attention
don't
to what
need
people
trees. We've got fuel. We're fine.
They're super
You're cutting
cool.
down the trees.
I mean, how else are you supposed to
They're
build?
burning
You have,
something.
yeah, you have to make. Okay, look. This is the thing. Industrialization requires fuel, and fuel comes from the earth. So they probably messed up their forests already. I'm just by like look at
Well,
that mechanistry. Like,
Here's the question you should ask
already
yourself:
passed.
does any of these furry woodland creatures come with a flamethrower?
Not yet.
I still like my headcanon.
That's the question, not yet,
The
so-
Vorid are the bad guys of the planet. The Eisenecks
Oh,
are
my
actually the good
goodness.
guys.
Oh,
That reminds me of concept art from the Avalon Hill campaign that I fell in love with.
Uh-huh.
That I recently fell in love with.
Uh-huh.
I called him Mini Bane.
Oh,
Wait! I remember. Wait,
Yeah.
wasn't that the skunk? Was it
Yeah.
the skunk?
oh wow.
Yeah, I remember this.
No. Well, I don't know what it is. It's literally like this little
I'm gonna
critter
find
wearing
it.
like a Milton like Joe style mask. Like he looks like a little mini Hannibal Lecter. He's my favorite.
Yes.
I gotta dig because I remember he posted all of
Not
those
real.
in
Oh my god! I got so excited that day when I
Yes.
came across
Yeah.
that randomly, not for work related reasons, and I was like, oh my god, look at him!
I'm
and
sold.
then, yeah,
I buy it tomorrow.
yep,
right.
yeah,
For sure.
Okay, now I'm gonna
And
look for photos.
oh, so Vorglide
not
Strikers are
work-related.
scouts. And according to what Justin says in the chat, that means they bond with Vanek Warlord. That's great. That's awesome. Now, okay, I do have one gripe with these guys. I don't correct me if I'm wrong, but attack 2, defense 2 is slightly squishy. I think.
With a base of 1 and the ability to place anywhere, they have some
That place,
staying
I
power.
think that's the place.
And as a
anywhere.
65 filler point squad that you can put into any army as a strong in-game unit, they gotta be.
That's yeah.
With range being so rare and AoE, that they can just hit for 6 automatically with no restrictions is a really strong, like,
That's true.
they can kite against the bears and a lot of other forces. So they're a good unit to have, but you gotta really be smart how you use them, it seems.
For sure. I mean, evasive helps too.
Yeah.
A little bit. Evasive helps too a little bit, I think. Any other thoughts about these guys?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Literally the one right underneath the clockwork.
I got it.
Yep.
Tails, if you want to show it on stream, I found the art.
Oh my
so I can
gosh.
grab
Is that?
Yeah.
the Hannibal Lecter that she was talking about.
Okay. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks
like-
like it's not a
Yeah.
beaver. I don't know what that is.
I thought it was a skunk.
Oh, are you talking about Joe's window? I can.
Oh, not Joe's window.
Oh.
Wait, which window are we on? Hold up.
Yep. Right below where it says the Clockwork Combine, the angry
Yeah, that
guy
guy.
with what
Okay,
looks
okay.
like
I think I'm missing something
flamethrower.
here. I was like, oh, okay. I see. Okay.
yeah, there's your flamethrower guy.
Oh, okay.
right there.
Yeah. No,
So,
Joe is
question
showing
in
it.
regards to Vorid flamethrowers. Yes, there is a concept of a flamethrower unit.
Oh, right
It
here.
was drawn for the Clockwork Combine.
Yeah, I see it right there.
So yes,
Oh.
the idea already exists in their formation.
Please,
Yeah,
please,
but
Yeah,
like
that was
thematic
further
board
north,
Foundation. Yeah.
please, and thank you very
and
much.
that's why they.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, I like it.
And also, I mean, the ferret with the top hat, like that.
Yeah,
Oh,
I call him
nice.
Dapper Weasel. He's my favorite.
Like, yeah,
It looks like a sniper
fantastic.
with smoking.
Just fantastic.
Just smoking the pipe. Yep. Yeah, take
Yeah,
a little pipe
some
lead
really
while
great concepts.
while I shoot you down.
Yeah, these characters were like, I know a lot of I think a lot of people really misunderestimate the fact that they're small. I'm like, no,
Oh
they
my
have
gosh.
guns, people. Like, are you brave enough to walk up to a person with a gun and say, "You're small"?
No.
I'm not.
No.
I'm not
I'm
brave
not
enough
at
to
all.
walk up to like a
So-
raccoon or a
So yeah,
Oh, I'm not
Raccoon
sure.
with a gun, yeah,
raccoons
that's
are terrifying. Raccoons are
I mean, I might walk
terrifying.
up to
So-
a raccoon and like offer it some snacks.
So,
But
yeah,
that's
they
just
probably
me.
eat. I mean, yeah. I have not had the best luck with raccoons in real life. I'll just say that much. I have some stories, so I'm personally upset. But
That's some good artwork
yeah,
right
Tuck
there.
Harrigan's little this. So there's a funny little joke I posted in my own Discord. Kind of context wise, we recently got to go to Dawn Trail in Final Fantasy XIV. It's an area that's completely Spanish themed, and they have an animal there called a tiatia, right, which is their language for sugar glider. So when he came out, I posted him in my Discord, and I was like, look at his tiatia face, because I couldn't say sugar glider. I was so used to speaking Portugal, and I was like, oh, what? And yeah, it was funny. So I called him a tiatia. He's not even, it's 2 different universes, and I'm like, oh my God. But yeah, there's a fun little context there. He's a sugar glider.
I love this guy.
Yeah, gliding
He's a fun
Yeah,
little...
he's so, the aesthetic is like the ace vibe. He's
Yeah,
like,
that's nice.
Devil May Cry, Devil May Care, that's the word.
I like the slight card change they had, since the Frost Claws no longer have that Valeric bonding. That he can come in, but you now have that adjustability to move your order markers to him. I don't think that was in the original card, so that makes him a lot more actually usable in a battle.
And I imagine that was probably like a playtesting adjustment, because a lot of these units are being play tested heavily and worked on really well by some really talented individuals. So yeah, you'll see some adjustments moving forward, but I think it's for the health of the game. All of
No,
it.
I'm glad the Frost Claws don't have that Valeric bonding. I may be one of the few, but it really helps them stand up as their own kind of unit apart from them, and kind of I just like it. I like when there's different factions from the same planet. It makes the world more rich.
So I got a quick rules question here.
Yeah, it
and
is.
I'm reading the cards in depth. So both Tuck and the Vorid Glide Strikers mention being placed on an empty space, but only Tuck talks about not being placed on a glyph. Is that an intentional wording, or is that sort of just a
Let me double check this.
too much, not enough words in the other one, or something?
I don't know.
Maybe we can drop the floor guide strikers on glyphs.
I thought
Well, I
that,
would
I
assume
thought it
an
said
empty
glyphs.
space Because if a glyph is encountering in a space, it's being occupied by a glyph, so it's not an empty space essentially.
True.
But then
That is
again,
true.
why does
You're
it?
right.
Why does
Yeah,
one
yeah.
mention?
You're right.
not
It
on
doesn't
glyph
say
and not
glyphs.
the other.
Yeah. Let's see.
Well,
I'll save that for
All right,
my
well, we got to
Well,
get Mike in here now.
yeah.
so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and with,
Sorry, guys.
I'm a lore guy, not a rules guy.
Judge.
I'm a
You're
lore
the
guy,
judge
not a
over
rules
here.
guy.
although to be fair, that was brought to my attention a few days ago. But yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I mean,
Hey,
and you
hey,
can
look,
bring
as
them. You can only
like-
bring them in one at a time, right? The glide strikers. It's not like they can come in all
Yeah.
at once. So
Right.
there's a little difference there too. So it might be advantage to
Which is kind
going
of
on
cool
the glide.
too. I kind of like that.
Also, there's
The joy
no
of
good
creating a
65
project.
Go ahead.
Oh, was that- sorry.
Go ahead,
Creative.
Go ahead, Jason. Go ahead, Jason.
It's the joy of creating a project internally, releasing it to the entire world, and finding out all the little details and nuances that you may or may not have missed. It's like, oh no.
Okay, Roguescaper.
all the time.
Roguescaper, go ahead. Give your thought.
Oh, I would say there's not a really good squad for 65 points. That's actually a price point that is kind of missing, and I always find it. I'm always like struggling to fill that point in with a good filler squad. So I'm really happy to have that because there's some good 70s,
Okay.
there's some good 50s, but like 60 to 65 is kind of a dead zone for good squad figures.
Yeah, for a 4 squad, that can fly. Actually, you know what's interesting? They don't have fly.
No, they don't have
Nope,
fly.
they just
glide.
They just glide in and then they start shooting.
Yep.
That's what they do.
Huh.
Yep.
It makes
no
sense
fly.
though, because if you look, those wings aren't like
Yeah, the gliders.
they're
Whoa.
you literally jumping
Yeah.
off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're metal.
Metal.
Yeah,
Which is cool.
I think that concept was that
So
they
they're
were
falling
meant
with
to glide.
style, and then that's it.
Yeah, following the style.
That's
And
it. They're
then
on the
you're shooting as
battlefield.
much as you
Just
can.
they're
on
just-
that word, so.
You gotta find a good spot. to
One-time
drop-
use
drop them,
wings.
you know?
I can imagine.
You know, you gotta find cover. You know,
I can
Dropping
imagine
cover.
animating with them, and it's like their range. But if they get into melee, they just move their wings around and just try and slice someone with their metal wings. You know, that'd be fun animation.
I would like to assume that parachutes was the first design choice, and then we're like, well, how are we gonna do parachute on the model?
No, the wings are nice.
Well,
they're
you
like,
got the
"Ah,
airborne
we'll
elite.
throw
They just
metal
didn't put
wings."
anything on them. You know, the airborne is supposed to parachute in. They don't have any. so
That is very true.
They may have just put it was an option between backpacks or wings. You know.
Well, and then they also did a blimp at some point.
Mhm.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mhm. Let me check
Yeah,
catch
no,
up
but
on the
I think
chat
it's an
because we
interesting idea.
we have a few comments here. Let me see here. Let me see where we're at. Okay. I think Justin here. I have 3 squads of NIDs. I got them on a giveaway. Wonder how they'd work in combination with Honor Guard and Maladrex and get 2 chances per hero to activate Parasite. That's actually a good point. Let me see here.
Well, you just slow them down with the nids and you make them weaker
Oh my gosh.
to kill them so you
Oh
can get
my
your
gosh.
guys back.
NIDs with the I can't, oh my gosh.
I will
You've already
start
sold me.
constructing that army as we speak.
I'm already sold as we speak. Justin says with Lee and Roguescaper on the panel and Derek in chat feels like Renegade Con never ended. Well, there you go.
In our hearts, it's still going
Renegade
on.
Con is every day. What do you mean?
Exactly.
We celebrate
Exactly.
Renegade every day.
That's probably how Jordan feels. He's the mastermind behind it all.
Well, because you got to
Yeah.
plan for the
A lot of
next
crap
one. Like
for
how many
it,
months
but he
later?
He does an amazing. He does a tremendous job.
Mhm.
I give him
That's
so
awesome.
much crap for it, but he does great. And then there's other people involved besides Jordan. Like there's also Anais. There's Sophia. Like they're wonderful. They're all
Sure.
great.
That's awesome.
They do some. Yeah, they're wonderful.
Yeah, everything is a team effort. You know. So.
Oh,
And-
for sure. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And Ben, aka Dadscaper, he's saying that I think he's referring to the Glide Strikers here, that they were heavily play tested for HasLab. So these were guys that were put through the ringer basically. Also the Scops are awesome.
That's
Yes, Ben, they are absolutely very nice. Actually, I'm gonna go back to see. Yeah, there they are. Yeah, very very
I
nice.
think
Yeah,
it's
like
really
the-
neat that we can have these conversations with the people who tested these units out. Because, like so Heroscape back when it first came out, right? Like I was a kid. The only interaction I had with Heroscape was going on the forums, going on the website, and going to Walmart. You know, that was about it. But seeing that there's there's people I know made these characters. People I know are telling me, hey, you know, we worked on this and we trust these designs. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be able to play these units and just be so solid because like they took all this work poured into them and all this love poured into them. And it's people I know. And it's such a, I don't know, it's so different from how I got into Heroscape. So I'm excited to see how this turns out because, yeah, everybody's ideas are so cool. I'm so excited.
In the panel, it's kind of wild. It's kind of it's definitely a crazy spot.
Yeah, like,
to be in.
who would have thought?
Well, it's also weird. I can't say I grew up with it because I got into it when I graduated high school, but it's weird playing it so long ago and then working on it. Like, that's just weird. Like, maybe it's similar to you now, Jeremy, but I don't know. It's weird. It's mind blowing.
It's like because you know it's the same game, but it's entirely different era. You were a entirely different person back then, and you're just like, wow, is it still the same thing? But it's like, yeah, it's
oh yeah, because back then
it's just coming with you all the way through.
Yeah, because back then it was still, you know, Powerpuff Girl Monopoly and Samurai Swords, and then I'm like, wait, what's this?
Oh yeah, I've mentioned it before, but my grab was when I saw the box. I used to live in Europe because my dad was stationed in Belgium, and I saw the Rise of the Valkyrie Master Set and APHIS. The first thing that got me was a Grimnack. I saw a T-Rex and I was like, and I grabbed it and I saw a T-Rex and a dragon and I was like, what's that? And then, you know, as I'm processing the box art, I'm like, there's so many things on here. I had to get it. Instant buy. It was I was like, the T-Rex got me.
Now saying
I
that,
remember lifting up the flap at the store with my husband at the time, and I'm like, boxes don't do this. We have to get this.
That's awesome.
no, I'm so happy for that. Yeah,
The flaps are on the new box too.
It's iconic. It's part of the design philosophy, you know. It's what caused it to be so dynamic back then. It should totally come back. It's just nice to see again.
For sure.
For sure, it's fun.
And
it's a fun detail.
And here, let me continue with these comments. Son of Odin JJ saying just now joining in, but it's fun to hear analysis about the new units while painting up some AOA stuff for Attorney this weekend. Well, good luck to you, JJ, on that. Justin, and this is actually a question that we all want to know. I've asked this before. Penguin with machine gun, Lee. Lee. Penguin with machine gun. Penguin with machine gun. Okay.
Well, like, here's the thing. This is my theory. This is not solid, but this is where if I was at that spot, this is where I would go, right? Because think about this, right? We have the Vorid, we have the Ursine, right? We already have a setting where they're up far north, right? And the Ursine don't have ranged support right now.
I'm telling you.
February.
Well, so the Order Borealis, I'm thinking, so Order Borealis is one of those, like, with the range support that they do, right? It's the wait then fire style, right? With a Penguin machine gun, there's a rapid fire option for range, and
what you do, you squad them up and you give them full barrage.
Well, we'd also have to. I mean, I feel like if we were to make penguins with machine guns, they'd have.
Remember, this is all if we're conjecture.
If they'd have to have jetpacks, so then they could have flying.
Yes.
Because that'd be hilarious.
Yeah. I'm all in.
And penguins with jetpacks, are they evolving?
We need ourselves an absolute zoo.
Because like they can't fly.
Yeah.
Unless
they can slide on ice.
Or good in water.
No, the joke that was going around when I first posted the art from the Avalon Hill campaign, when where they were like, hey, this is a promise of the future, and they posted Penguin machine gun. I posted that art and someone replied in the video I made about that art. They said, what was it? You activated my fight or flight response and I'm a flightless bird. Like, that's the comment in that video for me. And I'm just like, if the Penguins with machine guns come out, I have to introduce them with that line. Because it's just on point. I'm a flightless bird. It's like, what? How is that supposed to be edgy? But it is, because he has a giant machine gun. You want to tell him no?
We need Sergeant Bird from Spyro.
Sergeant Bird from Spyro. I miss him. Oh, what a nostalgia.
That was so fun.
Oh man, Spyro was a game. Didn't they remake it recently?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
They did.
18
Yeah.
years ago
Yeah.
now, but yeah.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
oldest played it a few years ago, and it was nice reliving it again, looking significantly better.
And the controls were way better.
I could
Like, nice and
imagine.
smooth. Nice and
Oh my
smooth.
gosh, yes, absolutely.
And I feel like between what we had back then and what we have now, it's almost like child's play to get that game to look better than it did back then. Because it's like our technology has advanced leaps and bounds, so it's cool. We can make some 3D Spyro.
Derek,
CGI.
I love that line too. Yeah, I love that line. I haven't seen the movie, but I love the line. You know, I need to see that movie. I have a list.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm all out of bubble gum.
And I'm all out of...
Oh, They Live.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, and so I remember when I first started venturing into the Heroscapers Discord after I started as Renegade, I would like throw out little things like that, and I specifically would quote They Live, and like no one got it, and I was like, all right, fine, whatever. There's your loss.
Dang.
Yeah, They Live is so great. Yep.
How's that command familiar anyway? And I didn't realize that. How do you say this? Hal? I'm just gonna call him Hal.
Halucia.
Halucia. I'm calling him Hal for short because I can
pronounce
do
it
that.
Hal.
Hal.
Oh, he totally would go by Hal.
Hal,
I feel
yeah.
like with that beard.
Yeah, I mean he's a
wizard.
little
Hal the Dryan.
Hal the Wizard.
He's a wizard.
Hal the Wizard.
Yeah.
I didn't even
That's
realize
awesome.
he was a wizard. That's awesome.
Yeah, they're all the Dryons. So it's obviously not locking this, but for the most part, the Dryons are wizards because they all come from that same category of the what was back then called Lifeborn Order, but is not. That is what we're using is those wizard abilities and the familiars attached to them as well. So everything you saw in the AOA stuff, where how the Dryons worked with familiars, that still exists in this edition. So in this version,
I'm very excited to
Okay.
have
Command familiars.
real life Halucia.
Yeah,
and
like
again, for
it's
Call it that
a
at some point.
solid centaur figure. Like
Yeah.
It's a really it's almost like
it's so sweet.
it's like a good version of Brunak almost is how I
Mhm.
envision this.
Yeah.
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 If only he had carry too.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be cool.
It kind of does. It's familiar. It's just
Well,
more limited.
yeah.
Do whatever.
Have you
Yeah.
read his lore though? He sounds like a very grouchy person. I don't think he'll let anyone ride him. I'm just gonna be like, I feel like if you went up to Halucia and you're like, hey man, I need a ride, he'll be like,
Step away from my
say that
bush.
What you
again,
say to me?
say that again, and then just like start getting ready, and you're like, you better run.
He reminds me of a Hinox from Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, for sure.
I just think he would have a severe attitude issue
Yeah.
with anyone asking him for a ride. Like
So-
I just
He
feel
probably
like
gets that enough. He's sick of that.
Does he have like rocks or
Right?
something on his back?
What are you doing?
What's that on his back?
Would
Like.
you like to know a random fun fact about Halucia?
Mhm.
The color of his body is known as the ugliest color in the world, according to Pantone.
what?
What?
That's so funny.
wild.
Yeah.
Huh.
But Halucia
And it
can
looks
totally
great
rock
on
it.
him. So that's
Yeah.
huh.
I know, right? Yeah. So, yeah, Alex and I had a field day with that whole concept.
That's a really that's
Is
that's
it
the
the
fun- that's
brown
the fun
color or
fact
the
stuff.
light green?
You're like, which ugly color? The brown color. So
Oh, okay.
I guess one year Australia used it
Huh.
for packaging on cigarettes or something.
Oh.
But they're like, well, if we use this ugly color, we'll
Oh.
or something. But yeah,
I don't think that works.
That's
it's
so
a
wild.
fantastic color, and
It's a really nice
So,
like black brown color it looks like, and it's just I'm excited to get some color on this unit, but it looks great pre-painted as well. Like I'm honestly like I probably have to invest in both just because I like he catches your attention with very muted tones, which is hard to do.
Mm.
And Derek says, when you make an army painted version, call it Hideous Hal. There you go. I think we found it.
Oh.
I don't think he's gonna like that very much.
Everyone just wants to make Halucia upset today. Apparently,
I don't think he's the type of guy you want to make upset. Do not upset a wizard.
Right, like literally, he will make the trees hit you. So I don't know if you want to mess with him.
It's just great that you can have him with
you're gonna be like, haha, Halucia joke, and then you're gonna turn around and his tree's gonna whack you in the back of your head. You're gonna be like, whoa. Yeah,
it's like an SNL sketch where she's like, it's like you're always making fun of Hal, but you always somehow are next to a bush, and then he's just right there
just
again at you.
That's a good Tales of Valhalla thing.
Hey, I'm taking notes.
I'm taking notes. There.
I'm taking notes.
Me too.
I gotta do my comedy.
Anytime someone makes a joke,
just like
Alicia just hits him with the tree. That's funny.
All right, and
but great miniature. Super excited to play him.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh yeah.
I definitely want to get all the
familiars and
time.
everything. Now you got your own familiar army now. You have your setup now. You're ready to go.
No, I need Halachot.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Once I have Halachot,
I think 2 more.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait! I can't wait for that floating
The
ghost.
staff of Kukupiran was very nerve-wracking when I first saw it. So
now, how about Sonlin here? Now, I'll say this: on a backstage with me and Joe can attest to this. We were trying to figure out, okay, what's the powers of Sonlin going to be, and we were guessing like something was going to do it with the dragon, and I guessed that kind of like what happens with the Valhalla Customs unit.
Left my desk all day.
It's going to be flying healing. I guess that I called it. I called it backstage last Tuesday.
See, I really should have had my toe, and then I could have just flexed and had the Soundwave 2.0.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Healing wing.
I was.
Well, you know what that means, Lee. You know what that means, though. We just have to get you on another show
for a moment and grab my container.
Oh,
yeah, no, next time.
Yeah.
I can't. No, office is right by Trace's room, and
I want to wake him up.
Don't want to wake up.
He was not. He was not. Oh my gosh, no! And he was not a great napper today. Partially my fault, because I was like, oh, let's go to an apple orchard. Oh, you'll take a nap. Oh, and then I'm gonna wake you up early, and then we're gonna go to lunch with friends. He was great, a champ, as for. But yeah, so glad he's asleep.
Majority of this audience, with the exception of Heroscaper, does not know what you're talking about, but that is okay. I do. Heroscaper does. So we're in that group.
The perspective
I've taken naps. I've had horrible naps before.
I mean, look, one of my roommates was a mom, and she had me help her with her kid.
Does not count, Jeremy. I was a teacher at one time, managing like 20 kids at once. It's not the same as having your own. It's not the same.
You don't have to love the 20 kids you're teaching.
Exactly. Well, you did. I'll admit it. I did. They were home. They were demons, but you can't.
And they go home at the end of the day.
Exactly.
The one who doesn't nap is still with you at home.
Yep.
You don't get to escape.
You have to, Lee. Just real quick. You have to I'm just thinking of this, but do you have a plan at what point when Atreus gets old enough where you can start calling him boy, like the God of War style?
Oh my goodness.
I mean, I already have sometimes.
Because the option has to be there at some point.
2. Oh yeah, I mean he's almost 2, so.
Okay.
But you have to get the low gravelly, Kratos sound, like boy, and he's like, what?
No, he'll get. Usually he'd probably get the middle name, so. Okay. So, which is done with.
Oh no, the middle name does.
Yeah.
So, what do we think of Sonlin here? I mean,
so at first, I thought he was really cool. At first, I was a little disappointed by Dragon Assault, but I've been mulling over it the last couple of days. I was like, oh wait, this thing hits like a truck.
Yep.
That's 2 attack. It's it's a lot less. You sacrifice that auto wound for a chance just to deal a lot more. Like he's ripping into people. You get height. That's like an attack of like 6 and 5 on someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no problem leaving 2 engagements just to get the extra attack die to get a good hit on somebody.
Sure.
Because he has a life of 6, you can make that decision if you want to take a leaving an engagement wound to get that 6 hit.
Yeah.
Because the option, and because he's flying, right? Obviously, obstacles are not a problem. So yeah, someone that you need to kill right now is on the
Or
other side
heal.
of that wall, but you're surrounded. Fly over, kill
Or
them, and then use Dragon Salt, take out the person that you're looking at, and then heal off. Like figure out. Can you?
Yeah, I mean, heal in
Or-
the process, but he can't heal himself anymore.
Yeah, he can't heal himself.
But he can heal a lot easier.
That lower threshold, that 13 is
Yeah.
a lot easier to hit than the 16.
Yeah.
True.
And it's mobile, so you can do it while you're flying. So it changes some utility for versatility, which I appreciate. And like he could still sit
it
back
shows
and
a
fire
growth,
his
yeah.
blast with a 4 attack until
Oh, yeah.
people get close.
Yeah,
Like,
he's ranged too. That
Hmm.
he's
Yep.
nasty.
He's got
that's awesome.
Exactly. So yeah, it's good. It's solid. It's something that ever since they announced it during Had's Lab, it's like we want this.
Sonlin's currently the only way to kill the Frost Claws. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Because that is a good idea. I didn't even think about that. Using Sonlin's wings to keep your 2 life squads kicking. Nice. Oof. Interesting. Also, one thing I wanted to say, I thought this was really funny. I mentioned it before, but when Sonlin came out with this new edition, or the 10 years in the future jump, I sent it to my group. So I have a group in Discord called, or not Discord, Facebook called Knights of the Hex Table, and it's my old friend group from high school. Okay, literally 10 years ago, of all the people I used to play Heroscape with. I messaged them. I was like, "Hey guys, Heroscape's coming back," and they all jumped back in. They're like, "Yeah!" So now I've been spamming them with all the new stuff. Yeah, and they actually been helping out with like the links and whatnot. And so when I posted Sonlin in the chat, I was like, "Look who's coming back!" One of them was like, "Did they just ship it in, Sonlin?" And I was like,
Yes.
"They did."
Solid is the epitome
He's
of
come
the
back.
meme of, like, remember this character? This is him now. Feel old yet?
Yeah. No, just, like Sonlin's the pinnacle of don't mess with people that don't forget who you bullied in middle school, right? Because like it's a bad decision. You'll regret who you bullied in middle school when you meet them now. Like,
Well, and it's
Just be
funny
nice.
you say that because, like, I mean, not to be like I'm biased because I love the art, but like I especially love the art the card art that we have for Samlin because like just his expression and he's like casting like little.
Oh, yeah,
like,
he's-
I love it. Yeah, sort of gives me
It's so good.
like a little bit of like Samurai Jack vibes, like just a little bit. Just that art, but I love it.
yeah, and Samurai Jack's
Plus
just
it was-
peak aesthetic.
Plus, it was done by an artist that a lot of the community seems to like. So, yay!
Yay!
Same artist that did Shiori and the Necrotech, Race Riders.
Nice. The Necrotechs are insane. That is a level of detail I cannot. Like every time I look at them, I feel like I see something new. Like it's so clean and scary looking, which is the intent, and that's what I like.
Yeah, we love working with him. Yeah, Eugen's great. We love him.
Nice.
Yeah. Shout out to him. Yeah, I love the artwork on all these things. It's a good visual representation of these characters. Let's see here. Oh, Justin, thank you for that segue. New Sonlin is currently the only way to heal Frost Claws. Well, we don't have Frost Claws, but we got more bears. So how about we take a look at those?
The bears.
Segue time. Okay. Yeah. So Ordo Borealis, right? These guys, and this is kind of like they're almost kind of like fourth mass in a sense. Like,
Yep.
Right.
you need fourth mass, and that's
Get
not
them
bad.
to a nice spot and just. And here's
Yeah,
the
the
thing.
knights.
And
Knights.
it was mentioned. I saw this mentioned in the Discord, so I'm gonna have to address it on stream, obviously. But someone had mentioned. Oh, actually, if anyone's familiar with Dysel, right? Dysel, fantastic person. Absolutely, all the work she does is amazing, right? She
Oh my
actually
gosh,
met
the
me.
Care Bears.
The carriers. I actually met her in 2015. She stopped by. 2014. It was 2014. She stopped by because I was in Texas at the time, and they had a local convention called Geek Fest, and so I got 3 hours for a booth to teach people how to play Heroscape. And I had mentioned that in the forums, and I was like, guess what? I'm teaching Heroscape. And Dysel replied to the forum, was like, well, I'll be in Texas at the time. I should stop by. And I was like, whoa, sure, absolutely, right? And I told her how to get into the con, and she showed up, and we played some games, and I got absolutely destroyed. I ended up learning quite viscerally and quite with experience that Wait Then Fire is an insane mechanic. She used Ashigaru against me, and in every match I lost.
She's
no matter,
really
like,
good
it's
with
just there's something about being able to sit back and make people come to you, and being able to control combat in that way, and just be raining down on them while they're trying to get there. That just it's hard to beat that. You can't unless you have anything to defy, like jump between walls or whatever. It's instant death. It's you just get shot up till you're not existing. It's so sad. But yeah, overall, like Dysel taught me the value of Wait Then Fire mechanics very, very well. So
yeah, I wish they had. I wish the 10th and the 4th both had reload instead of what they have.
Yeah.
This is a way more balanced power. I can't stand the 10th and 4th.
It's just too many figures.
Well, it's crazy because I feel like people. I've heard both wins, right? Like some people swear by the 4th, and some people swear by the 10th, and that's all they play. And every time they play it, I lose every time. I can never beat. Can you stop playing the? But I won't say that. It's just knowing they play their best. They play to their strengths, and some Wait Then Fire is a really good strength in the competitive field. But it's like I don't know how to do it because every time I try it, I die. It's like I'm bad at this. Like I'm okay. I'll do it. Let me Wait Then Fire, and all of a sudden everyone's surrounding me and I'm dead. And I'm like, wait, that didn't happen in my last.
That's not supposed to work that way.
That's not that. It's frustrating. I think it takes a little bit of practice. I would assume a lot of the veteran scapers seem to be the ones that lock onto those Wait Then Fire mechanics. So I think it's like if you play a lot of games, it becomes easier to know where to put them.
Right.
But if you're newer to the game and you're trying to find a way to put them, you're gonna be like, put them here, and nope, don't put them there. You'll find out why.
I don't mean to toot my own horn here, but I guess I will. No, last ScapeCon, I faced up against a bunch of 4th Mass and I was up against who ended up becoming the ScapeCon champion this year. And I had...
You played against Perkins?
No, not Perkins. No,
okay.
He didn't win Scape. No. It was Veggie.
Gen Con. Yeah. It was Veggie. Scape Con is different. Yeah.
It was Veggie, and he had 4th Mass, and I'm just like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, and I had Death Chasers. And what I had to do was like the only thing that was going to work was like rush those guys and just keep on rushing 4th Mass until I beat them all. And I mean, it was close, but I got the win. And I'm like, yes, that's all I needed. So
Orc Battle Rush is scary when you have like
they're not completely invincible, as I found out. So there are ways to take them out.
The Death Chasers are so funny because I feel like they genuinely designed to be your first play and fodder, because they have 2 defense.
Right.
So the intention literally is go guys, go,
take out your
everything
first.
you can.
Yep.
Please,
They're literally chasing death.
Yep.
Literally, yeah.
Yep. Oh, I love them.
But their bonus comes from did they have Taskmaster bonding?
Yeah.
Is that them?
Yep.
Yeah. So you can use Knight Primus Aldebaran with them.
Yes,
I found that out from.
That would be cool.
I found that out from ScapeCon 2023. I played against someone who used a Knight Primus Aldebaran, what's the word, proxy, and then the Death Chasers as his main lead with that.
Well, how about we hop into that?
No.
No,
please, no.
There's
That bear coming out, because like they send the bear first, and then they come out for it, and then it's just like, what is going on? I'm terrified.
Thank you for the segue, Jeremy.
So,
it's got 8 life.
Yeah.
My gosh, it got 8 life.
Adelburn is gonna be a menace.
Wow.
Yeah.
Adelburn, and that's the thing. Adelburn, one option is Death Chasers. There are other options you can use them with. So there's like all kinds of ideas.
Cross claws.
And sending this giant beast.
Hey there, Matthias Maccabees, aka Ken, is in the chat. How you doing, sir?
Yo,
Yes, you know that lady.
Oh,
Yeah.
hi, Ken.
Yeah. Joining us tonight.
I just noticed this guy has big teeth on his armor. I never noticed that little detail before.
Yeah, isn't that awesome?
Yo,
he
that's
does,
cool.
Neat little chest plate he's got.
This guy
that's
is
neat.
just one special attack, yet still a freaking powerhouse. That's just wow.
I love it. This is like a Grimnack for the new age, which is really fun because Grimnack is a really fun unit to play, you know, and it's fun to have this unit that everyone's going to try to take down.
Crushing blow.
That'd be in
Right.
the game,
Yeah.
but he gets next to you, you know, he's going to wreck house. So it's like a really fun. It's fun to see these heroes actually being heroic and being
Just remember,
alive.
he too can just turn into a bug.
yeah.
despite
is
the amount
true.
of power this man has, he could,
This is true.
as seen in the playtest.
Yeah. No matter how strong you are, bugs.
Watch out for Maledrix. He'll twist you up.
Derek saying, "Hey, I know that guy in the chat."
Cool character.
Our wonderful audience is having fun
Yeah.
in the chat there. And Ben is saying Adelburn was designed to be a menace, designed so that people who had just the new stuff felt like they had a heavy hitter. Well, yeah, definitely.
Well,
That's
yeah.
pretty cool. But yeah, no, it's appreciated, I think, for a lot of the
I
new
love it.
players.
Yeah, that's
And how, like, think about it, thinking in the context of trying to sell this game, right? We're bringing this game into its continuation. We're bringing this game from 14 years ago, right? What's a great way to sell it? Hey, you want a giant bear with a mace?
Yeah.
You know?
Honestly,
Like,
Heroscape went through
what
this
did you
period
say?
where the heroes honestly had such middling stats. Like it's almost not worth fielding half of them without and the ones that don't have any bonding. You know, like poor Sudima outside of VC, she's
Or Sudima.
such middling stats. Cool power, but like it's the stats are so low it's never used. Or even like some of the D&D heroes, you know, like
I have a theory. I always had the theory because if you read her bio and you read Moorsbane, so Sudima and Moorsbane have a shared history because Sudima killed his mom. And I was like, that's such a crazy deep lore that you all just dropped there and never expounded upon, but cool.
And if
I
you
will
don't
remember
know
this
that
for the rest
bit
of
of
my
lore,
life.
it's quoted all the time in Tales of Valhalla because the character can't stop talking about it. So
Moorsbane can't
can't stop talking about his mother
Killed
dying
my
and getting
mom.
revenge. Yeah,
Stop killing my mom.
one of some of the best lines in the series, really.
Yep.
Hellforge.
Oh yeah, the Forge.
I can't wait to get this guy.
You can't wait to get this. What are you talking about, Rogue? Rogue, what are you talking about?
Someone has to read that last line in like the deepest voice ever because it's one of the edgiest lines I've ever read in a bio, and it's just
Oh my god, I
bio?
love it.
What's
the last line. Like the whole thing's great, but the last line is
Okay.
just indicator.
You know the one
That's
thing.
it.
Fuel.
Yes, there it is.
Yeah.
Oh
So, yeah,
man, I was like,
you have to read it, and that's
chills.
like,
the chills.
yeah. When
Everything on Valhalla is fuel to him. It's like, oh, bro.
Yeah, when I read through the bios initially, when internally within the team, like after I finished, I was like, oh, okay, I gotta take a break for a little bit here. And then I went on to read the bugs. I was like, oh, okay, take another break.
Definitely are bringing like the edgy, like hard hitting stuff out now. I'm like, wow, these things are intense.
And I mean, because the thing is like, was it 14? The age is 14 now, so it's like, you think of your traditional high fantasy setting. Most of that has
industry secret. Most games are 14 and up for safety testing reasons.
For sure.
Oh,
Interesting.
Not
I didn't know
necessarily
that,
because
but
of content. Yes, it is
Interesting.
thousands upon thousands of dollars to have it age graded for a lower age.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
Yep.
I wonder if they had to do that for Heroscape because back in the day they used to label it 8 and up.
Yep.
So did they have to go through some like extra checks for that or?
Oh, I don't know about back then, but just
Oh yeah.
from what I know now and from
now
it's Asmodee, like I mean, it's a lot of things. Like you know, if it's depending on what's in the game, like you can't have game pieces be smaller than, you know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say a child's esophagus because like that's why like a lot of packaging shows. Well, I call it the sad onion baby. But everybody has, like the sad baby with like.
I remember that.
On it.
Little graphic.
So like that's why it's on there is because there's small components. Like oh my gosh, there's so much safety and compliance stuff that goes into
Sure.
games.
Sure.
That's interesting.
But yeah,
And
in
I have
order to
to-
market toward a younger audience, there's additional testing.
I do have to appreciate you, Lee, for taking the time to share those small little details every once in a while, because again, it's
Fascinating.
perspective. It helps us understand the process of the game coming back for us, and a lot of the questions that people have get answered now. So it's like super helpful for the community to hear how this stuff happens.
So like, I would love to be like, oh my gosh, it's 8 and up, but then it's like, there's additional testing, there's additional costs,
that's something I didn't
and
know about.
there's, we couldn't have a bio like Queen Maladrix or Hellforge Manduker for an 8 and up game.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah.
It's a little bit more flexibility, I think, for
The Hellforge
franchise.
Manduker for 8 and up is just an easy bake oven that cooks cookies for his friends.
Yeah, no,
Delivers them.
he's embracing you with a hug,
Yeah.
and you just, the fire is the love of.
Yeah, he burns with the love of his friends.
He burns.
If I may share the concept of this one as
Dr.
well.
Horrible, or what was it with the bug?
A Doc Ocker.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
It's
I can
such a
say,
cool
having
movie.
interacted with this figure, it's awesome. It's
Yeah.
just it's one of my favorite units. I've play tested a bit, just having it on the board, and he's just like, he's menacing. He is a menace. He just goes around the battlefield, and he's just
I'm
hungry.
thinking of
Just eats.
so like
I love
Right.
the little arms on the bottom, the little flailing.
yeah the
attack, like
tentacle ones.
the little.
I want to
tendrils.
see
Like, I just love
how
them.
viable.
I presume they're chainsaws. That's what I look at them and go, those are chainsaws.
They're tentacles. I'd say they're more tentacles.
No, yeah, they're more like tendrils.
Because he's like picking up things. Like
Yeah, oh
he's-
yeah.
So like I would see him visually. He's just doing this nonstop. Like different parts of him is just whatever he can grab.
Flailing.
Grabbing.
Drop
It's
that.
eating at the
Yeah.
buffet
It's
after having eaten.
Yeah, and like if you just happen to be within reach, you're screwed. Sorry.
Ice and neck vacuum cleaner.
Bye. You're just getting eaten. Like that's all he's doing is just constantly consuming to keep himself alive, because that's the forge will never go out. So.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful.
Now I want an
Yeah,
infomercial for the
yeah,
Isaac.
too.
I can't wait for the crossover unit, the Axe Grinders, the Hellforge. Just to really.
Oh my gosh.
Mm.
All right.
Now I just want an Eisenach oven.
Yeah.
Eisenach oven. Easy bake.
Eisenach easy bake oven.
There you go.
It just flows so well.
That's your next shirt, Sophia.
That sounds like
I'll work on it.
terrible propaganda attempt. Like it's some weird Isenec PR attempt to, hey guys, we're actually the good guys here. Easy bake oven, and it's glowing blue cookies or something. And you're like,
It's like I baked you a cake.
I'm not eating those. No.
It doesn't taste great, but I baked you a cake. It only takes 2 minutes, and I
It's a
cooked
thought
it
that
with a light
counts. It's
bulb.
just burning skulls and like.
Yeah.
It's. I made you a cake. It's like, is that blood? No, it's strawberry.
That's fine. Yeah. There's
It's
a
a strawberry
fox in
puree.
it. There's a Welkanite.
puree.
It's fine. Here you go. There might be some marrow in here, but it's delicious.
Yum.
Oh,
Marrow
yes.
pie. Yum, yum, yum.
Maro.
It speaks to you as you eat it. And the shrill.
I love how our menu list is growing. The entire stream we've been talking about different foods in Valhalla, and it's just this, we're gonna have an entire menu at the end
Getting
of the
hungry.
stream.
Oh, and now you need a lore book.
Several months
cookbook.
ago I did like say, "Oh, Foodscape confirmed." Like those just troll people.
There you go.
Yeah.
You can confirm
we
it even
could-
more.
So check this out real quick. There is an author out there. Her name is Victoria Rosenthal. She actually gets commissioned by other companies to write themed cookbooks
Yes,
to those
please.
video games. So like
Now.
the Halo cookbook,
Yes, please now.
the Final Fantasy cookbook, the Destiny cookbook,
Yes.
all of that stuff is one person. She
you go.
literally
I
just
wonder-
makes video game themed cookbooks.
Wonder if
I can send her a link. I got you.
Yeah. Do it.
Well, no,
I followed her.
no,
Do
like
it now.
so a studio that I used to do work for, Catan, they did a cookbook, which I was
Nice, yeah.
Love it. I love it.
Yeah, the what's the word? The genre is there. I can tell you the genre of fictional cookbooks is very real, and there's
I
one
have a
person
Star
who
Wars
does it, and
cookbook,
she's
yeah.
taking. Yeah, she's doing such a good job with it right now.
I made blue milk once or twice.
Oh,
It's an
Oh, boy.
easy
Heck
get
yeah.
avenue. Like I know, like my dad, I gift like a D&D cookbook for at one point.
Yeah.
So I feel like the
Oh,
same thing could happen on my end with the Escape one.
I'll post it in the Discord too, so if you all want to go follow her and check her stuff.
Galaxy's Edge is actually absolutely delicious.
Mm.
Oh, good. The green
Now,
one's fine.
How about in the
Where it's at.
in the segue of cooking, we need a meat tenderizer. So why not a Major
meat
Q11?
tenderizer.
Yeah, there you go.
Talking about meat tenderizer. Good
I
lord.
know.
Kaboom!
I know.
No, see, here's the thing. I don't think Major Q11 has any interest in tenderizing. When that hammer drops, you're gone. You're done.
Hammer time.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's pulverized.
You've become atomized.
Atomized.
You've become one with the earth, literally. Look.
Okay, Joe, why don't
So
you,
cool.
Joe, why don't you say something? Because I know you're on the edge of your seat here. Go ahead and say something. Say
Full barrage.
Barrage.
I think I said this in our backstage. It's like every single card in Heroscape, if it does not sound good coming out of your mouth as an attack, like it's from Pokemon, it's like Major Q11, full barrage, like, and then you just imagine just like coming out.
That's
Yo.
so
Like,
funny.
this
that
is
you say
exactly
that, 'cause
what I've been
that's
wanting.
That's what I do inside my head.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, let's go.
Yeah. But I visually do it.
Designer
so that's-
approved. Imagination.
anything
Remember,
back.
imagination is key. This is the imagination games. But yes,
Yeah.
it's okay to envision this stuff. All of those ideas in your head, write it down because it's awesome. I'm telling that to the chat.
Actually,
I-
yeah, go ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like last night, I was playtesting for a tournament next week, and I was playtesting with Q9 and Rats, because I've never played with that army before, but I know it's a good one. And boy, I mean, Kuglix is nuts, but this full barrage is like, to me, way more balanced, but yet so much more fun. Like, if I have to even just move myself up just a little bit more, I mean, I got 4 life defense 6 and being able to just, this is just so cool. Oh, I cannot wait to do this. And then like and then you get adjacent to him and you're like, finally, I'm here, I survived.
Hammer time. Extra wound for every wound you drop on that character. That's like, it just doesn't make sense to attack him adjacent at all because you're increasing the amount of damage that will be done to you. Like,
Yeah.
unless, that's.
We
so
don't want to
bad.
swarm him because he attacks the adjacent figure. So
And then he can attack. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
this
if
guy
you swarm
loves
him,
fighting
he'll attack.
vipers
He
with
can
high
attack up to
defense
3. So.
Hello there,
I am
Silas in the
disappointed
chat.
that he's only a large and not huge.
Yeah,
I'm
you
I think
curious.
he was a large in his previous. model
I
too.
assume
he's actually bigger
assume
than. Yeah.
Yeah.
that was a balance change only because there's a lot of powers in Classic Escape that are like, oh, it does not affect huge.
Right.
Um,
And I mean, it would make sense because if you want him to bond with other Soulbark armies and they still use that where the huge can't be affected, you don't want him to be missing out on those powers for
Yeah.
future Soulbark builds.
I mean, Major
things
Q
like that.
Q9's large 7, so he's the same size as Major K9.
no.
Yeah.
And it's like large 6. Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
there's many huge Zillborgs at all.
Because
Yeah.
huge, the thing is, when you think huge, I think dragons and
True.
Grimnats.
Wow.
Water 9,000's huge.
Yeah, Major Q10 is like giant size. He's like in the giant troll category versus the T-Rex dragon category, if that makes sense. Which, the fact I can say that, that's Heroscape.
And hello, Silas there in chat. Oh, we'll ask Lee some questions in a minute, so just hold that question for a second. No, I
will
would.
nerd out about the cards.
We're nerding on cards, but I mean this is the last one. But I was just thinking of a line actually, and it would surprise me if no one has thought of this yet. But see if you can tell me where this comes from. By Vidar's hammer, you shall be avenged.
I got you, Tails.
Nice.
Yeah.
Galaxy Quest.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Oh, gotta love that movie. Oh my goodness.
It's the best
I
Star
need to
Trek.
rewatch it. It's been.
Oh yeah, yeah, bar none.
It has been a minute. I need to pop that back on.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But yeah, this is an amazing sculpt, amazing stats for this thing.
I saw this drop on the stream, and I was like, I almost could like step back. I was like, that thing is awesome.
Yeah,
The paint job, the aesthetic, and then just
I'm
again.
really excited because originally we planned for it to be for organized play, and then we're like, well, no, let's, like Sergeant Drake Alexander was like a pre-order incentive, and he's a big deal. Braylon's a big deal. Shiori's a big deal. Q11, it's like, well, there's Q10 and Q9. It's like, we got to make Q11 a bigger deal. So that's why he's pre-order incentive. And you'll find out what's going on with Q11 soon-ish.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because there's no biography yet. Yeah.
He has the truly promo figure lore right now.
Yeah.
Exactly. You'll find out the moment you pre-order character bio unlocked. No.
For sure.
Oh.
That would be hilarious, though.
That would, yeah. I wish there would be a way to do that. If there was the technology to just like, oh, you just pre-ordered, you just unlock more lore. Yeah.
Honest, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I'd
turn
be
it
all
up
for that,
because that was actually, I mean, that was the last mini to look at, and I mean, it's okay. It only took us like an hour and a half.
Wait, we went through all of them?
Any sooner.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. We went through all of them? That's quick. I thought it was going to be long.
And well, I mean, we didn't technically go over all the terrain stuff too.
Yeah,
Like,
I was about to say, if anybody wants to mention anything about the terrain before we move on to like
swamps are
asking me
awesome.
some
I love
questions.
the red plants. Red
Snow.
plants are peak. Red
Snow.
plants.
Snow is cool. I want to make a snowy Michaels too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm going to be
need a lot of snow.
grabbing those red plants. I have the classic Takala stuff because I was able to grab one of those sets before they went away and became $2 billion. 200. I know, but it's still annoying. So I have those originals, right? And then I'm going to get these new ones with the Lower Jungle and then the red plants, and then put all of those together. Man, that's going to be the coolest looking forest.
I know, it's going to be awesome.
Right?
Yeah, no, it was fun.
And just
playing around
layering the
with
trees
colors.
and. Oof.
I think we need more trees.
I'm a
though.
jungle.
We need like a
I'm,
tree pack,
I'm obsessed with
so we
jungle
get
aesthetic,
a bunch
so
of trees.
I'm glad I have more options for my jungle aesthetic. That's
Those red trees really do pop. I really just like that little.
there's just oof.
I like that it seems to be intentional. Correct me if I'm wrong on this, but it seems that you're adding something different in these terrain packs. It's very similar, but it's like, oh, I have a 24 hex sand. I have a lot of terrain, but it's like a reason for me to invest in this. I have trees, but I don't have snowy. Like it's a little detail, which I appreciate.
Maybe.
Aesthetics.
Yeah.
Are nice.
well, it's like one of those things. I mean, the huge thing is, it's like most of y'all have seen all the Age of Annihilation figures, and we have to like sprinkle in new and exciting things every once in a while. And it's like with the battle box, we had the Wellspring water, and then 24 hex sand,
and all of those innovations are things people have asked for in the past. I guarantee you.
Yeah. Well, and then creating like brand new stuff like that takes a while. So like just to put in perspective, so like Renegade original stuff like that will come out Gen Con 2025. So like summer 2025. So like to give you an idea of how long it takes. So like I started back in
Labor Day. I remember you mentioned it was Labor Day.
September 2024. And like as we like all worked and like we're like, okay, well when can we introduce commons and new stuff and stuff like that, and like figuring out on the schedule, it's like, all right, well cool, the soonest we could do it would be summer 2025 because that is how long it takes. So
yeah, it's just I think a lot of players, again, and this isn't like a dig thing, I think a lot of players don't have the perspective of game dev. Like they don't have, and it's like, think about it, it's like if you don't have the awareness of it, it's hard to have that as a deciding factor when you see these things and you're like, why is it taking so long? It's like there's a reason for it. They're not delaying, they're not being mean, they're not withholding information because they feel like it. I promise you, this is the.
It literally takes a long time.
This is it's just, this is how the process TM, they're not trying to delay anything. There's no planned delays here, it's just, that's just how the time it takes. But
I'd much rather have a well tested, thoroughly thought out product than just rushing stuff out.
There you go.
That helps the health of the game. 5 years from now, I want to still be able to play without thinking about what's broken.
Let's go.
Yeah, we don't want to
Yeah, it's just-
unintentionally
yeah.
break the game.